This week, Donald Trump compared those conducting investigations of corruption and violence, directly or indirectly connected to him, to Nazis, an inevitable, but obviously utterly ridiculous, notion that just points again to Trump's desperation. The idea that Trump is actually some kind of model for truth, justice, and the American way, or whatever, is laughable. Objectively, he spends so much of his time complaining, and then complaining some more. Biden and Democrats in Congress have spent the last roughly 2 years working on initiatives to support the job market and bring prices down as economies throughout the G20 group of nations deal with inflation. And what's Trump doing? Whining about the 2020 election and how the law enforcement authorities under whose jurisdiction the entirety of the United States lives on a daily basis are just so mean because they dared to ask some of his associates some questions. The way Trump talks, you'd think investigators were pointing guns at witnesses during questioning and threatening their families. That's obviously not what's happening, it's just more of the same grift, angled to provide an excuse for Trump's devoted fans to give him even more of their money. The FBI, fake Bureau of Investigation, and the Department of Injustice, together with the Trump-hating thug, Jack Smith, are interviewing, harassing, and subpoenaing people that work for me relative to the boxes hoax, and the peacefully and patriotically speech I made at the January 6th protest of the rigged and stolen presidential election, where so many have been treated horribly and unconstitutionally, Trump said on Monday. This is a Gestapo-type operation. Are they doing this to the Biden people? I don't think so. It's not a Gestapo-type operation any more than Democrats are actually secretly promoting communism, which is also utterly ridiculous in any reasonable sense, but which some Republicans keep insisting is happening. In a Tuesday post, Trump shared a right-wing rumor of unclear veracity and complained about attention on the admitted felony offenses of former company executive Alan Weisselberg, who recently began a months-long stint in jail. Was Joe Biden really paid $50,000 a month by Hunter for a house that's worth comparatively very little? Trump asked, no doubt not actually all that interested in an honest accounting of events. Who actually owns the house? This is just the beginning of one of the greatest political and money laundering scams of all time. However, don't know whether or not the rigged and corrupt fake news media will want to report on it. Probably not, they'd rather report on a 75-year-old Trump employee who did not pay tax on the use of a company car or apartment, few people do, never charged before. According to sources in right-wing media, there is a handwritten document ostensibly filled out by Hunter that is apparently an application for a background check, although the context of the check that was sought is unclear. On it, whoever filled out the details claimed Hunter had been paying $49,910 in monthly rent, but, assuming Hunter himself filled it out, he also said he owned the referenced residence, so it's entirely unclear what he actually meant, and pretending like there's some kind of huge scandal emerging into the open here is nonsensical. It's seemingly just one document.